Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best year around.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And I'm Mike Matoyer.
Hey Mike, welcome to your very, very first podcast episode.
Well, thank you. I am glad to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah, I'd say that for sure.
So you came up with a band right off the bat too, who we're going to interview.
Yeah, we're going to interview Don't Matter to Me. They are a group of young musicians local to the area around Plainfield and the Joliet area. And I've known them for a few years now. I met them through the COVID months playing local open jams. And they're a great group of talented musicians, talented young folks who just love to play classic rock and roll. And I'm excited to hear what they have to say.
And I love classic rock and roll. So let's see what they have to say. Hey, everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And I'm Mike Matoyer.
For the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Good. Well, welcome to your very first episode.
Yeah, groundbreaking here. Isn't it?
It's groundbreaking. So, and amazingly, you picked out the band for this first episode for yourself.
I did. Absolutely.
And who do we got here tonight?
We've got Don't Matter to Me, a band of local guys and ladies, as you can see here. Probably the youngest group of musicians that you've had on the podcast ever. So I met these guys, what was it, about 3 or 4 years ago?
No, more like probably 9 months after COVID.
Like during COVID, even a little bit too.
So, yeah, something like that.
So like the fall of 2020.
Yeah, somewhere around there. We were at Uptown in Plainfield.
Yeah.
Is that the first time that we saw you guys?
Yeah, I was at an open jam.
They were all still high school students, although I think you were still... You were still in high school at the time. Were you a senior?
No, I was a junior in college, I believe.
Okay, you were a junior in college. And I saw these guys, and the first time I saw them, and we should probably say and mention that there were a few other members of the band at that particular time. They all went to school together, and life happens, and one guy went to the Army, and one person ended up going. A couple of people went away to college, and Lucas and Madison. Do you want to go by Madison or Maddie here for this?
We do Maddie.
Let's go Maddie. So they decided, nope, we're going to put the band together and continue and keep going on. And over the years, they've built themselves a pretty cool following, a bunch of young people that are just playing some great classic rock and roll music.
Awesome.
And they're appealing to a wide range of audiences for sure. Like we said, the first time I saw them was at Uptown Tap in Plainfield. Thought these guys were great. And I put them into the category of when you hear these guys play their instruments and sing, you just want to go home and burn everything that you own. you really do. So
tell me how to get started. Did the two of you start the band, or?
Lucas is technically the original member, if you want to talk about that.
Well, I can talk about even before that. So me and our old drummer, Dylan Glass, used to be in a punk band. We did original music, played a lot of shitty basement shows for $20 for the entire band. So you get $5 each, and then you pay $7 for a camera guy. So you lose $2 and gas on the way there. And you're like, well, we like punk music, but we also want to do covers of music that we like to play, because we used to be doing school rock together. So we were like, well, we got bass, we got drums, we just need a guitarist. And we asked Justin Watt, who you've played with a lot too, to be our guitarist. And then originally it was a power trio. And then a couple weeks later we added Blake on keys. And then we started playing open mic nights at Uptown. I started busting my ass being a dishwasher there, haggling my manager to book us on the schedule. Yep. And then the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah. I think I was there for the inaugural performance of Maddie, I believe.
Yeah. And I actually was not open to Maddie being in the band originally.
No, I think I bothered them about being like a social media manager at first and like running their Instagram for them, because it looked like crap at first. But yeah, I kind of was bothering them about it. And then they needed another singer because Blake couldn't do it for some reason. And they didn't want to just have the three of them. So they wanted another singer for like an open mic or something. And Barracuda was my first song. Then we did The Chain, I think, as well too. And that was kind of like what started kind of the momentum.
And we did some Led Zeppelin with Maddie too.
Yeah, I seem to remember some Led Zeppelin. So now you mentioned School of Rock with you and Dylan. But what kind of training did you have?
I just have training from like singing in choir at school.
That's it.
And that's pretty much it. Or singing by myself at home.
Right.
Like, and just singing along with like, heart was the big thing for me.
Welcome to Sturgis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have no like School of Rock training or anything. I would go to his shows and like be like, I want to do that. And then it kind of did. So.
Right. And the harmonies at that time were great too. Like you mentioned, Chains, I believe.
Yeah.
The harmonies were great. And of course, you guys cover one of my favorite songs by Styx.
Oh, we gotta bust that one out. Since we lost the keyboard, so we can do it without keyboard though. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, good. What about the name? Tell everybody where Don't Matter to Me came from. I have an idea.
It's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, I have an idea, but let me see if I'm right. Go ahead.
I told Nathan has a really good memory.
Yeah,
I remember telling him.
I remember I think the first time I saw them play at Uptown, I remember I said
It was
Lucas-
Zelmos.
Oh wait, no. But this was at Uptown. I did ask you this. That it was I said to him, so how did you guys come up with the name Don't Matter to Me? Were you guys just sitting around one day and you're going, what do you want to name the band? And one of the members says, oh, it don't matter to me. And you're like, oh my God, that's perfect. And he's like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was Dylan that said that.
That's exactly what I thought it was. And by the way, that was Nathan Liberty, everybody, guitar player, lead guitarist for Don't Matter to Me right there.
And
You said there was no buttons. You didn't tell me there was toys.
There are toys. There are toys.
What other sounds are on there?
A few.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's right.
and Nathan is in all words, in the sense of it, a lead guitarist. He's just the most insane guitarist ever.
Right.
Like if you hear him play, you
want to burn all your shit.
I still hear him play at our shows, and my jaw just drops wide open. It's insane.
It still happens. Like I remember when we had our first rehearsal with Nathan. And
Oh gosh, I love this. That was like one of the most proudest moments so far in my whole life. I'm not even gonna lie. Where I remember.
Oh, let me tell you the story of our first rehearsal with Nathan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, can you learn these 25 songs in 2 weeks? And he was like, of course. So we have 2 rehearsals. In the first rehearsal, he comes in. He's like, oh, I know some Van Halen. And I was like, okay, what songs can you do?
asked me, hey, you know how to play Eruption? I'm like, hell yeah, I do. And then Dylan does the drum intro, and I play it exactly like the album. And I just remember simultaneously.
Me and Dylan are just looking at each other with like our faces are
the
just
biggest like shade and grin ever.
I literally just remember I'm trying to both balance being lost in the music and trying to see the look on you guys' faces.
and then our PA catches on fire.
Oh,
No,
gee.
literally, it started smoking in our basement. And of course, we rehearsed in our tiny basement.
Yeah,
so it's like we're getting smoked out in here, but it's worth it.
It smells like burning plastic in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were playing Kickstart My Heart. I remember that too. We had just gotten to the slow part. And I remember, Matt, you asked me, hey, Nathan, you know how to play Kickstart My Heart? My response, and we just went right into it.
We don't have a motorcycle sound on here?
No, we don't. However, I can call them guys back.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm imagining that was right about the time, I think you called me sometime around that time and asked me about PAs. So I'm assuming that's probably the reason why.
Yeah.
For a PA.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. And I will say, so Nathan, your mom just recently friended me on Facebook.
That's kind of my doing, just so you know. Just like,
Okay.
I'm literally sitting in my room with my mom. I'm like, oh, look. And those who recommend, I'm like, oh, look, there's Mike Matura. That's the guy that wants to burn off his shit. And that's what I always tell my mom. He's like, yeah, he says that every time, like I'm at the studio. And
That's the
there.
standard intro. It is the standard intro. But, you know, she friended me on Facebook. So what do you have to do? You have to go through and see if you know who this person is, right? And I was like, Liberty. Oh, yeah, that's got to be Nathan's mom.
Liberty.
So I took the chance of going through and looking at all the pictures of little, 3.5 foot tall
Oh, Jesus.
Nathan just
He's got the
starting
same
off.
haircut.
Yeah.
He does. He has the same haircut. How long have you been playing guitar?
Well, I've really had a guitar in my hand since I was probably about 2 or 3 years old. I mean, my mom would always watch like concerts on like MTV. Remember the days when MTV actually played music videos and concerts? Yep. I was like the last. I definitely consider myself like a part of that last era before it went to shit. So
Right.
and my mom would always watch like these concerts on there. And one of the concert she was watching, I remember, was the Goo Goo Dolls live at Breckenridge 2006. And they were it was them. They were doing like a free show, and they were playing in the snow. And their guitar player that was hired to tour with them at that time, Greg Soran, at the the song Iris, right?
Oh yeah.
At the end of the slide guitar solo.
Is that when
he
it
does.
starts raining? That one?
No. Oh, that's another performance.
Yeah.
But that is the same guy, though. Yeah, I remember. And at the very end of right after the guitar solo ends, he throws the guitar pick, and I must have made my mom rewind it like 10,000 billion jillion times, and I really consider that my real spark, igniting my love for music, at the age of 3 years old and watching him throw his guitar pick. And also a friend of mine, fun fact, I befriended someone in 8th grade who Sarah. Yeah, she
Oh yeah.
she was a friend of mine. I remember she said to me like a month after we first met, "Hey Nathan, you know who Greg Soran is?" I'm just like, "Yeah, he basically is the reason I play guitar." He's like, "Oh yeah, well my mom went to high school with him." And a year and a half later, she sends him an email and says, "Hey, I got this friend who's this guitar player, and he's your biggest fan, and she didn't think he was going to respond because he's too busy playing with Lionel Richie, the B-52s, and he's also on the house band on American Idol as well. That's what he's doing now." He and he did respond to her, and he was like, "Oh no way, you're so and so's daughter. Oh man, I haven't seen her in so long. I miss her. Who's your friend? What's his name? Is he really that good?" And a few weeks later, on my birthday, she comes to my house and she gives me this wrapped vinyl shaped object, and it's his solo album with his signature on it and a personalized note that says, "Hi Nathan, your friend Sarah told me about what a great guitar player you are and how long you've been following my career, and I'm absolutely honored by that, and I hope you continue to grow as a musician and get everything you desire out of a musical life. Happy birthday, Greg Soran."
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's not the best birthday present in the world, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So about a month ago, a famous musician liked like one of your
It was
Instagram posts.
That happens regularly.
Who was it? Who was one of
It was
them?
Loverboy, the one that I
Loverboy.
sent you. But I mean, I reposted this thing. Anyone know who Phil X is? He plays guitar with Bon Jovi now.
Right.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Right, absolutely.
He does this thing. He's the inspiration behind the Bebot app that I do during
Oh.
Whole Lot of. You're gonna have to come see us in concert to see what I'm talking about. But I have this app on my
He's
phone
plugging us already.
Right.
that had. Oh, I just kicked the table. We do Whole Lot of Love, and there's a theremin in that, and I have this app on my phone that I put up to the pickup on my guitar, and I go "Woo" during it. I remember the first time I did it, somebody at Uptown screamed, "What the fuck is that shit?" It's always
That'll get edited out.
yeah. Excuse my language. Sorry. Bleep that. Well, I reposted something that Phil X did. He was talking about like Van Halen's Running with the Devil and the last 3 notes of the solo and how everyone plays it wrong. He's like, "Yeah, this is what I've deciphered it to be." And he's like, "Yeah, hope that helps." And Ryan Roxy, who's Alice Cooper's guitar player, was the person that liked my story. Now, this was only like a couple weeks ago. Just
Imagine having famous rock and roll musicians like all your stuff. Could not be me.
All right, now something completely unrelated. Mike, ask Nathan any celebrity's birthday.
Not even like a rock celebrity. I feel
Anyone.
like he'll know it.
Actually, no, keep it rock. Just a random
rock,
random
okay.
musician.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I guess he fits both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know Mark Wahlberg. I'm sorry, I don't know Mark Wahlberg, but you know.
Okay.
So we'll edit that out. Don't worry about it. Let's try.
Thank you.
Because usually,
Gene
like,
Simmons.
you can go like right after another one. Like,
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons.
August 25th, 1949.
okay,
Wow.
How do we know he's right?
I don't know. We have to verify
look it
that.
up on your computer.
Gotta look this up.
He has like a photographic memory.
Eidetic memory.
Identic? Okay.
Eidetic.
Iggy
Identity.
Pop.
April 21st, 1947.
No, and what she's saying is true because the first time I met Nathan, it was an open mic night.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about music. And people would ask him, "Do you know this song? Do you know that song? Do you know that song?" And not only did he say, "Yes, I know that song," but he would tell you like who wrote it, who recorded it, who possibly was the producer, what year it was, what album it's on. He was just rattling off all these
When the
random
reissue
facts
was.
about that one particular song.
Just infinite.
And you know, I think I'd seen him play about 2 or 3 times before I realized how talented he was.
And Luke, and I remember I always talk about this when around. Lucas was there too. I remember we were on stage during an open mic, and I remember we were playing a bunch of Pearl Jam songs. You're like, hey, what's that one Pearl Jam song? And mind you, I know every Pearl Jam song ever in their entire catalog. So I'm just like, okay, this is my moment. I'm like, what song are you trying to learn? And he's just like trying to figure out. I'm like, Black. And then right then I proceed to play the intro.
Mike was sang that one.
Right.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. That was such a fun day, man.
It was a good time. So before we get too into anything else, we have another member of the band sitting here, Claire.
Wake up, Claire. Wake up.
Hello.
Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody here?
My name is Claire. I started playing with these guys in, what was it, like July that we started playing?
I think so.
Mind you, we've only been playing together 4 months, and we've only known each other for 4 months.
Like we started playing with one another as soon as we met.
I think late July.
Where did you meet?
Oh,
Because I remember the day
share-
I remember the day you said, well, we found this new drummer, Claire. But
this is great. So, one of my really good friends, her mom randomly texted me on Snapchat one day with videos of this band that was playing at Double J's in Joliet. And she was saying, oh my God, they need a drummer.
Shout out to Jeff Reed.
Their drummer is going off in the army. They need someone. I'm telling them how great you are. And she's never heard me play, never seen a video of me playing. She knows that I play the drums, but she was telling them how great I was without ever having heard me play. So
It worked.
I mean, I could have sucked, and then we went with a rehearsal.
I never heard her play before she had her first rehearsal with us.
Like nobody did a background check. I think that's awesome, but
hey, beggars can't be choosy. They were looking for a band, right?
they were looking at the drummer.
It's kind of the way it goes here.
And the best thing too, I mean, the best problem and she had like the best problem ever, like the best worst habit ever. She played really quiet, and you know how most drummers
She's
are
a sensitive drummer to everyone in the room. So she
I'm
really
traditionally
listens.
trained, classically trained.
Even more so than any other drummers that we've played with at open jams. Like you actually try to listen to the room around you, not just to yourself.
The older you are, the quieter you play. So I've noticed.
Maybe.
Well, I know a few people where that could be, the exact opposite.
Yeah, I do too.
So I'm curious. You said you were classically trained. Where did you get the classical training from?
So I took private percussion lessons all throughout middle school, and then I ended up teaching them in high school.
Wow.
So I've had a lot of one-on-one instruction as a teacher and as a student. Mm-hmm. So in high school, we had, I was on the drum line. So I was playing the marching snare drum. And then I had also played the marching bass drum. Then I was also the drum set player for jazz band my senior year of high school. So, and our band director for the 4 years I was in band, he was a percussionist as well. So I got a lot of really great instruction. Shout out to Eric Wellman at Joliet West High School. So yeah, I mean, I've just been in kind of like a less of more just like classical stuff, like reading music and traditional grip and technique based.
So it sounds like you really leaned toward percussion and you became so interested in it that you just wanted to learn as much as you possibly could. You went above and beyond whatever you were learning at the high school level with being a marching band. That is.
Yeah.
What you did. Okay.
So, but drum set has always been like the foundation for me, like playing the drum set since I was super little, and then actually like defining all of the musical terms that I was playing and putting it on paper with like sheet music and stuff like that. So I became a little more technical with private instruction and group instruction. But yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time.
Wow.
And she has perfect pitch.
I did.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, there's an old joke that said, what do you call the guy that hangs around with musicians? A drummer.
There we go.
You can't say that. You can't say that about
not
her.
in this case.
No, not at all. Wow.
Didn't you go to School of Rock the same one?
Oh yeah, I
Lucas, too?
did. I
Yeah.
did. I went to the, I still think that's crazy how like Lucas and we
Missed each other. We just
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
completely.
like you left
The
right as he
same
started.
building, the same School of Rock. Was it the one right there in Plainfield?
Yep, right on Lockport.
Yeah. Okay.
I was in there.
House band.
I joined the season after they were established. So I think I was with them for like 3 or 4 seasons. And then I was in their house band. And I think at this point I was like 9 or 11.
And that's really
9 to
good.
11.
Usually you don't get in the house
Yeah.
band until you're in high school.
Usually, like right as you get in the house
Yeah.
band, you're like 15, 16 years old, but then you like have to leave like right as you turn 18 because like then you can join the adult band, but that's like
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, I was doing that when I was little. School of Rock. I don't know.
I don't want to talk
we
crap on the
have-
podcast.
Yeah.
Let's keep it positive.
But no, that's where you started.
Me and Claire could talk about it for
Yeah.
So I have a question that I guarantee that every single one of your fans wants to know, because it's been the question that people always ask whenever I'm present at one of your shows or you guys show up at an open mic night or whatever. They always want to know, how do these young people play such great classic rock and roll? Listening to you talk, you all have some pretty eclectic influences. I guess individually or as a band, what made you decide that, okay, you know, Fleetwood Mac and Heart are the way we're going to go, and we're going to leave Britney Spears and whatever else you young kids are listening to today alone? Share that a little bit.
I think the main consensus among us all is our parents. I think we can all kind of agree on that.
For sure.
Shout out to parents. I get that totally, but
I mean, like I have a vinyl record collection. Like I don't feel like that's something that my people my age do. It's more like a trend, but it's like I genuinely like doing that. That's definitely my music taste. It's not really like the newer stuff, I should say.
Well, our dad will come into my room at like 11:30 at night and be like, and play something on his phone, like, you need to do this song. Or I'm not
Like
coming,
every day
coming to
they'll
your
send
show.
us one song request or whatever.
I totally see your dad doing that too.
I mean, like the stuff that, like, if you've ever been to one of our shows, if you see like Nathan jumping or Maddie, she's dancing, and Lucas is
Standing there.
Yeah.
So, you know, in regards to that, you know what I hear a lot? I've had probably 24 people, mostly women, come up to me and say, "Oh my God, he looks like a young Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses."
Bro, he does. I said that like when I first joined too. Do you know what someone at Ramble Jam said a few weeks ago? He said, when you were there a while ago, someone said, "Hey, I met your Tom Petty guy." And I'm like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I met your bass player that looks like Tom Petty." I'm like, "Lucas?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Or they say Daryl Hall.
No, that's my mom. That's just,
I've heard someone say it before.
When I first met,
she thinks I look like, I don't even know, Fabio.
when I first met Lucas at Zelmo's, when I first went out to see Don't Matter to Me shows, I mean, I arrested him. You look like Draco Malfoy a lot? He's like, "Yep."
Wow. Yeah. Well,
Pale.
here's the well, first of all, I think, Claire, you were finishing a statement and we jumped over to how Lucas looks like a celebrity, but
I don't even remember this.
something about everybody standing there.
talking about
Seeing Nathan jump and Lucas standing there.
Nathan's jumping, and I mean, we're all visibly having a good time.
Right.
And it's because, like, we wouldn't be as present wherever we're playing if we were playing, I don't know, what's some music today that people listen to that is not good.
Boots, cats,
Maybe
boots,
like
cats.
21 Pilots.
pop music.
Yeah,
pop
like
rock.
we wouldn't be having fun playing that. Nobody would have fun listening to it. So, like, it's just like a perfect blend of like enjoyment
We can get
for the
peop-
audience,
Oh.
but also we are having a blast.
Yeah,
playing
and we
it.
can get people away from mainstream stuff. For
I
a
mean,
while.
it's all mainstream.
But Claire, is that the type of music that you listened to as well when you were younger?
It's the type of music that my parents wanted me to listen to. When I was
Same kind of a story.
But me and Maddie actually listen to that all the time.
Yeah.
It might not be the case for Claire. She might
since these past 4 months, I've started to like what I listen to has definitely been sculpted.
I know
by
we
what
all
play.
like have a slightly different music taste, but they all like mold well together.
That's what makes a
we're
good
more,
band.
Yeah, we're all more classic. They're kind of a little bit newer, so they kind of push us to do more like pop music or even like in like the 2000s. But like
We find balance and all that.
we try to find a balance. I think that's what people also appreciate is like we still do classic rock, but we have a good balance of like more disco or like 70s or 60s. Like we
don't
try
do
to
any
have
disco.
We have a little. Well, we're trying to. I mean,
No.
Yeah, I just don't
I mean,
think I don't think
or
I've
funk,
ever
I
heard
should
you
say.
guys do
Funk.
anything newer than about 2005.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think that's kind of like your threshold.
I think the newest song we have is "So What" by Pink. That was 2009 that came out.
Okay.
Only I know that.
The band's
That's right.
repertoire for like the past 2 years has stayed like obviously it's changed, but the general idea has stayed the same.
yeah.
I mean, other than that, like we used to do a lot more Rush before because we had keyboard, but now we don't. But also, why would we do Rush when you can do Van Halen? Because Nathan can play it note for note.
Right.
Yeah.
And he can. I've seen him do it. Yes. Yes. What about original music? You guys have any plans to start doing some original stuff?
I think we're going to start the writing process over winter break and hopefully have some stuff down probably when everybody gets back for college in the summer.
What?
Definitely around summertime when everyone's like in the area, we can like collaborate more often.
Yes.
Yeah, we probably rehearse maybe once a month, two at most.
Right.
So it's hard with like, because Claire's only coming down over the weekend if we have a show, and then I have work and Maddie, we all have jobs. So
you're away at college right now.
Yes.
Where do you go?
I go to North Park University.
Oh, I know right where that is. Right. Right. Okay.
That is the first time anybody has ever heard of North Park University when I tell them. So yeah, I mean, I'm on the north side a little bit. So coming down every other weekend, it's 100% worth it.
Right.
I'm
right.
glad I'm so close, but I'm not like,
Close.
yeah.
Right. Do you guys have problems? I mean, it doesn't seem like you have problems getting booked, but do you come across any situations where people just won't hire you because of your ages?
yeah,
Or they just won't respond.
all the time.
Or they think like because we're a younger band, like we don't know anything. I mean, we're still
Or-
young and we still don't have a
Yeah.
lot of experience in like this music area or just like live
The music
music in
business in
general.
general,
Yeah. Yeah. But like there's the assumption that because we're young and like we just don't know anything.
And who's doing most of your booking?
It's kind of like Lucas and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom helps out a lot actually.
Yeah.
She told me not to mention her, but I think she deserves
I appreciate your honesty.
some big ups.
Yeah. No,
So-
she helps us kind of like keep it moving too. Cause she
Yeah.
knows that we're all busy too. So she wants
She
to
helps
just
with
help
like the
what we
organizational
can. Yeah.
kind of stuff. Because I'm not very organized.
We're teenagers. None of us are
Yeah.
organized.
Well, with a lot of venues they won't have a problem booking people under 21, but they'll say like, since you guys are so young, you're not going to be playing good music, and you're going to attract a younger crowd. And
The big thing I think is the younger crowd. Like they think
well,
that
they
they're
don't
going to
want
hire
because young people
or
aren't
have
going
come
to be
in that
21, and that's where they get
or
their
they
money
bring in
from.
a fake ID and they lose their license. So,
Some people have to learn the hard way.
but, I mean, all of our fans are like 30s or older anyway. So it's like, I don't know why
Well,
they just got to look at our Facebook.
Our main demographic is women in their 40s on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've seen your Facebook posts. Because a lot of the people that go out to see you guys regularly come out to see Cadillac Groove or one of the other projects that I play with, and it's the same group of people over and over and over again. It's the crowd that originated from the Uptown and other local venues that have seen you guys play and seen you guys grow over the years. So something to be said.
Trying to break out in Naperville, it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Joliet. My dad calls Joliet his people.
Right.
But it's just we've tried probably 8 venues in Naperville and haven't gotten a word back.
Right.
I don't know. It's like impossible.
We'll get there though. It's just that one place that'll be like, okay.
Yeah, we just
And
need
then we'll get
we
there.
just need our foot in the door.
Yep.
We haven't had that opportunity yet.
And I just got my hardware, the big long hardware case, and the drum cases just got delivered.
It's been a struggle.
Yeah,
Being in a band is a lot of money.
having to move my drum stuff. Drum stuff is very expensive. It's way more expensive than a lot of people think.
I just spent $80 on a cable, one cable. So
They were about to buy a $300 voice pedal.
yeah,
$600 maybe. I don't know.
$300. That's how much.
Okay.
$300.
How much was your guitar you just bought, Nathan?
How much? I traded another guitar, so I got it cheap. It was $500, you know. But hey, it's still a great guitar.
$500 is $500.
Yeah.
What do you play, Nathan?
Well, what guitars do I play? Well, my main guitars are my main guitar is a Schecter DJ Asper Signature model, and my other main guitar, I have two main guitars, is a Line 6 JTV 69 Variax, which has all these modeling presets
It's like
and
an
tuning.
tuner on it,
and
yeah.
it's got like all these alternate tunings on it. Like I know for some songs, like the Chain, I have to tune my guitar to.
Is it open G?
No, it's actually E B E A C sharp E. That's what I have to tune my guitar to for the string. I mean, because it's basically drop D with both the E strings tuned down to D with the capo on the second fret. But I do it without the capo, and then during the solo I just switch it back to standard tuning. That's what I do. That's my secret.
I don't know.
One ear out the other for me.
No, I don't know.
Yes. Any guitar players they'll understand though.
Yeah.
I just play the tambourine. I just do tambourine. So.
Kind of drums you play, Claire?
So we are working on a Frankenstein kit right now.
Okay.
So at home, I've got oh my gosh, my grandma's cousin used to play in a band in the 70s, and he had a Tama Imperial Star. It was an 8-piece. So there's 4 mounted toms and 2 floor toms, and then just a bass drum, a snare drum, and then just a boatload of cymbals. So that's what I play at home. I don't prefer to play with all of the mounted toms right now. I'm only playing at shows. I'm only playing with 1 mounted tom and a 4 tom, and I definitely want to increase that. Definitely get some more stuff on our in our arsenal for playing wise. Like I definitely want to play at some point. I'd been listening to this song all day. I do want to play Tom Sawyer at some point.
Oh,
Yes. Okay.
I mean, without keyboard, I mean Nathan's gonna have to figure out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Nathan's
to do.
got it.
I'm gonna have to
He's
do
got
some.
I'm not.
Well, he's got this
He's got 20 pedals.
Omega Variax something or another with a flux capacitor. I'm sure he can figure it out.
I'm sure.
It's gonna
Clear
look
reactor.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing a Frankenstein kit with drums right now, but my Sweetwater wish list is like over $4,000.
Damn.
It's something, but yeah, I love playing all different kinds of drums. Still developing my own personal sound and taste.
Cool. And Maddie, a favorite tambourine brand?
the one I got from Amazon. That's what it's called.
Acoustic or electric?
Acoustic, I'm assuming, yeah, because I don't plug it in.
Stop making fun of singers, you know.
This is my instrument.
She has an SM58.
Oh, there you go. See, there you go. There you go.
And your bass? What do you play through?
I play Music Man 4-string, Stingray, active with the active EQ, and then I have a Squier P bass that I just got that one. It's custom order from Chicago Music Exchange. And I play a Fender Aerodyne jazz bass, PJ setup.
That's my gigging.
Yeah. And Mike, one time I was at Uptown, and it's like a super like sleek black finish with like a white binding on the side. And he was like, "Hey, next time you get on stage with that, make sure it doesn't look like you just had chicken tenders." Remember that?
This is like the grippy like imprints of that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
I think that every single time I see it. I'm like, you gotta clean
Well,
it.
I like wipe it down right before I get on stage when we play like a actual gig, and then at the end of it, it's just like covered in
You just
like
get all
my
sweaty.
every black guitar looks
Yeah.
like that.
And not to interrupt, but I've been trying out this other guitar that I have too, this Fender Tom Morello Soul Power Stratocaster, which has a lot of fingerprints on it because it's like kind of like Lucas's bass, where it's like, yeah, that's how it looks. And I was gonna ask him, what do you guys have? You guys have Tom Morello like memorabilia in the museum, right?
He's from Chicago?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
we may. I'm not sure.
It said Tom Morello on the front, so in the front
I'll
of
be
it.
looking for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do like to cover some rage.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah. Well, good. I've got to make it out to
Killing
one
in
of
the
your
Name is like
shows.
Claire's favorite.
Oh my God.
I've been waiting. I was hoping you would make it to the studio, but I was sad when you weren't there.
Yeah, I do have to make it out to one of your shows because I haven't seen you guys with this particular personnel, and that's mainly because whenever you guys have a show, I have a show. So
Busy.
So we're all busy musicians.
You got a little taste of us
good.
once, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Right.
That was just an
That wasn't-
appetizer.
Yeah, that wasn't
A
our.
little.
Are you guys playing this weekend at all?
Yeah.
Yep.
And where's that? That's the crowd around me
Yep.
Shorewood.
on Friday night.
Saturday night.
Saturday
8
night.
to midnight.
There might be a possibility.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Where's are you Cadillac Roof on Saturday?
Nowhere. That's why there might be a possibility.
okay.
We have a couple days off. So
Nice. Awesome.
So where social wise, where could people find you guys?
You can find us on our Facebook, Don't Matter to Me, and you can also find us on Instagram, also Don't Matter to Me. You probably should get a YouTube or like a TikTok or something. Maybe
TikTok.
TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
My old band blew up. We had TikTok.
Oh, I think we hit a nerve here.
No, my partner has been trying to convince me, or she's just been telling me to tell you guys that we need to do a TikTok because you see these bands on TikTok, they post
She's
like
right.
That's true,
4
yeah.
videos and they get like 50, 60 views. And then they get this really good one idea that goes completely viral and they get like 500,000 views on one video and they have like 10,000 followers just like that. Like all it takes is just one video.
That's
and then people.
My old band, my punk band, I'll just say this, even though it's not about, we had a TikTok account, like for our band. We had one video and then we blew up. Now we have like 13,000 monthly listeners and shit like that.
It's because
Wow.
I think on TikTok, if you have a song that is like trending as like a used
Yeah.
sound on TikTok, people will go then listen to it. Or I don't know if it's like you stream it through TikTok, then you get streams on Spotify too.
I don't know.
So one of them is like over 1 million streams, like
Yep.
one song on their album.
we better hurry up and get better looking so we can do a TikTok.
You got
video.
that right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm calling TikTok right now as soon as we're done.
Yeah. You just need like, once you exceed like a certain amount of views, then the algorithm like helps
They'll
you
put-
out in like the trending section. So, and then it's like nowhere but up after that.
You just gotta have one stupid idea,
And that's
then
how
someone else
Facebook
thinks it's funny
is.
too.
Once we got over 800 followers, we just started getting like for like the rest of the year, we almost have a show. We almost have a show almost every weekend.
Right. No, on Facebook, once you hit 1,000 followers,
We're
it
pretty
tends
close
to,
to that. I
you know,
think.
it could take you 2 years to get to 1,000 followers, or likes, I should say, on Facebook. But then after you hit the 1,000, it all of a sudden just becomes exponentially. You're at 3,000 in half the time it took you to get to 1,000. So.
Well, alrighty, guys. Thanks for coming out. It's nice having you here.
Yeah, thank you
very much.
Hope to see you guys out and about very soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I am very proud of the fact that you guys were my first interview.
I'm proud
great.
too.
And I'm proud that I got to be a part of your first interview.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
We're all very proud, aren't we? Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, that was Don't Matter to Me. I guess they kind of matter.
No, they absolutely do matter. And like I said, you were probably drawn in by these guys and what they had to say, and learning a lot about their musical influences and how they came together as a band.
Yeah, I was very impressed by Claire, being what was it? A classical drummer. I mean,
Yeah, that surprised me. They had told me very little about her, but that was very surprising to find out she was classically trained as a drummer. You don't hear that very often.
no. I've just been banging drums in my basement since I was a kid. That's usually the way it is.
Yeah, no, you really need to go out and see these guys. And Nathan, as a guitarist, is probably the most electric performer. I mean, he is so into what he's doing, and you can tell he is a fantastic student of that instrument. And he plays everything note for note. When he covers a song, it sounds like somebody's playing a backing track.
Well, he knows everybody's birthday. He's got to have a photographic memory.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I played with him on several occasions, and he's so good and knows so much music that there was one time where I was supposed to host an open mic. I had known Nathan for about 3 weeks. I'd seen him maybe 3 times. And I said, you know what? I'm going to ask this kid because I know he's going to be able to cover it. And he said, sure, no problem.
Well, you got to be sure of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing them sometime.
Yeah.
So that was great having them, and thanks everybody for listening. As always, we're coming to you from the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66 in beautiful downtown Joliet. Make sure you sign up to be a charter member at roadtorock.org, and we'll see you next week with another episode.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music that's played on this podcast.
The music is used to promote the band or musicians that are interviewed.
Rock and roll Chicago.